JNU and the kind of politics that is there. But people on the ground ask you to de-JNUize yourself, right? And be accessible to everyone. How are you going to do this?
First of all, I am telling you, if the full-fledged fascist regime will come in India in coming days, there will be no JNU. There will be bombarding on the JNU first, because they don't want to, they can't leave this kind of campus, they will destroy it. To saving the JNU, saving the constitution in India is very important. So how we will save the JNU? The answer is, we have to come out from the JNU. And there is no need for any departure from the content which JNU is producing. No. We have to change the form. I am not departing from the content. I am fighting against patriarchy, but not in that form, which is quite popular in JNU, in different form. I am fighting against casteism, but not the terminology. I am not using the terminology which is very popular in JNU politics. I am using the term from the the discourse from the society, the discourse from the mainstream political discourse. So, concretely I am telling you, to save the JNU, saving the Indian democracy and constitution is very important, first thing. So if you want to save the JNU, we have to come out from the campus. We have to expand our areas, we have to expand our target audience. And when we are targeting a larger mass, we have to change our form, not to content.
But this is very good. But how does that translate at the personal level?
Those who have worked with me in JNU, sometimes they feel that I am compromising too much. Maybe I have some personal aspiration to become the political leader or mass leader in India. But my concern is, I will not indulge myself in such kind of petty discourse or the discussion or the allegation. I don't think that I have to answer those allegations. My focus is how we will stop this fascist disease which is spreading very fast in India. That's why I am coming out more and more, and I am not confining myself in JNU. This is my prime concern. And those who are serious political activists, they are also realizing the same thing. JNU cannot save, JNUite cannot save themselves alone. They have to join the hands with the other fighting forces in the country. So they have to come out from the campus, or when they will come out the campus, they will realize that the discourse of, the form of JNU political discourse is not applicable or effective in the general masses. So I am just waiting for that situation when the other political leaders will come out from the JNU, they will realize it. For example, some of our colleagues, our comrades, they came out from JNU and now they are compromising in their terms.
And we know that most of them have gone into
different political parties, and I am the part of CPI, Communist Party of India. I didn't leave my parent political party, and I have too much hope that if we will problematize the thing, we will identify the contradictions, and with the application of Marxism, the dialectical materialism, we can overcome it.
I think
I'm going to ask a question. So, I think what was very interesting when we were following your campaign was that because you've lived in JNU for the past almost 10 years, there was a form of disconnection, even though you're from Begosawai, from the urban person you've become and the reality of the ground, which were farmers. And one of the things you told us when we were filming you was the regressive forces of the world have united. Now it's time for the progressive forces to unite. When you talk about different marginalized section of the Indian society, the farmers with mass suicide, the young urban youth, the young urban workers, which just graduated from college and universities, which are not finding jobs, which funnily you called PaRChA, employment plan,
Yes.
by Modi. The access to land for the farmers, the access to flats for the urban youth, and the new classes which are coming up in India, which creates a division which actually separates people not only financially, like economically, but completely physically. With what we see, for example, with smart cities, which are reserved for the upper class of India, which are coming up in India with the farmers, inundations, water surplus, or dryness of the land, or in the cities with the shortage of water, which are coming in the next years. How can the left you're representing, as it seems you assume it, as a populist leader, someone who talks to the masses, how can you manage to create the connection between these urban areas, the rural areas, along the lines of ecological problems and access to capital? I mean, if it's too precise, I can simplify.
It's very difficult question, I think so. But I can answer it like, yes, I have said that the regressive forces of the world has already united. It's time to unite the progressive forces of the world. So, along with this statement, I want to tell another thing. There should be no formula for the revolution. There should be no formula for the social transformation. Because each and every country, they have a different kind of objective realities. The importance is, we have to organize the marginalized people by the different methodology using the dialectics. See, for example, in India, there is a big corporate houses. We call it crony capitalism, or in Hindi, Avara Punji. They are trying to monopolize entire Indian resources and Indian market. So, because of the diversity in Indian economy, there is a huge possibility to organize the national bourgeois and the petty bourgeois in India. You're getting my point. So, we cannot see capitalism in black and white. So, those who are the turnover of one company which is 100 crore per annum, and there is a company which turnover is 5,000 crore or 10,000 crore per annum, you have to make a friendship with this 100 crore wala. You are getting my point. So, because of the epistemological break in production system, it is very much difficult to identify the clear-cut class position, which is overlapping to each other. So, we have to isolate the crony capital or crony capitalism and the new form of casteism, which is prevailing strong and stronger in the new middle class. To counter it, our strategy is, we are not saying that we should depart from the idea of revolution, but we have to identify the revolutionary process which is already taking place in the society. Because of the new technology, because of the information and communication revolution, because of the formation of new classes, because of the overlapping of two different classes to each other, because of the problem of caste and class in India, because of the too much imposition of oneness in the form of religion and the other political discourse. So that contradiction we have to use in our favor. We have to isolate the regressive forces on different front. On cultural front we have to isolate them. On economic front we have to isolate them. On political front we have to isolate them. Then only we can defeat the growing fascism in Indian context. But maybe this cannot be helpful for the other part of the world. But for India, I think using the diversity, talking about the constitution, protecting the democratic rights, strengthening the democratic rights, and talking about the basic issues can gather a good mobilization, and through that mass mobilization, politically, socially, economically, and culturally, we can defeat growing fascist forces in India.
Which kind of unified progressive force do you see in the next coming?
Not unified forces. I am talking about the dialectical forces, not unified forces, dialectical forces. Like in different part of India, there can be a different kind of social and political problem. So according to the social and political problem, we have to identify our allies to isolate the regressive forces. This is the methodology which I am talking.
Yeah, and on this, I'm quite curious about one little thing that I find very difficult, always very difficult for the left movements in general, in particular in the Indian context.
Any discourse which is talking about the upliftment of marginalized, they cannot grow in the isolation. They have to join the hand together. Like feminist movements should talk about the farmers. Farmer movements should talk about the laborers. And laborers should talk about the students. And the students should talk about the problem of youth. Then only we all will survive. Dalit movement and left movement cannot survive separately. They have to come together.
I understand.
It is the necessity of time.
I understand, and at the same time, I am struggling at personal level. If we agree that people have to join hands, then how do we agree who will represent those who have?
It depends on demography. It was always dependent on demography, I am telling you. It was always. It's a wrong fact about Indian politics, I am telling you. Each and every time you have to identify the formation of class in Indian society. And all the time, those who were the part of Indian elite, they have ruled this country. And I am telling you, the Indian elite is also diverse. You cannot identify only one kind of, the one identity is the representing the entire Indian elite. You cannot say that only one kind of identity is representing entire civil society of this country. I am telling you, there is a process is taking place, the democratization of Indian civil society. There is a process has already taken place to democratize the Indian elite. You are getting my point. That's why I talked about the formation of new classes, the formation of new middle class in India. And you will see the Indian elites are joining hand, rather they are coming from their comfort zone, they are breaking the cell of caste. On the basis of class they are organizing. That's why there is a severe political opportunism in different classes. It is not just related to the one caste. It is you can identify this problem in each and every caste. That's why socially caste is becoming weak, but politically it is becoming strong. Because of the role of Indian elite, because of the process of the democratization of Indian elite, because of the process of the democratization of Indian civil society. So it is not difficult that people cannot unite on the basis of basic issues. The problem is those who became the leader of marginalized, they became the representative of Indian elite club also. Then what they do, they just leave their people and enjoy being the member of elite club, being the member of Indian civil society, being the member of upper middle class or upper class of the society. So nowadays this is also a challenge, how we will break that kind of nexus.
And how to break that nexus and how to make the possibility of subalterns representing the elites even within left movements.
See, two things I want to add in this. First, we have to back to the basics. Door-to-door campaign, street play, distribution of leaflet, poster pasting. We have to use the folk culture, folk music. We have to search the new talents, those who are dying in the train, on the different railway stations of India, those are dying, just dying, or there is no limelight for them. They are very good singer, they are very good comedian, they are very good artist, they are very good painter. We have to provide the opportunity for them. Then this nexus will be stronger than the nexus of those elite. And for this, going to back to the basis, we have to use the social media to popularize it. And I am just giving you an example. An Indian actress, a new Indian actress, has emerged through social media.
Woo!
So there is no too much hopeless situation is there, and I am telling you, a folk singer or folk dancer is much popular than an established actor or actress in India. The more viewership on the YouTube for them. The new young comedians are really producing good political content. That's why I'm always using the term United Front, which is very broader, and it must be related to all sphere of our life. Art, culture, politics, cinema, theatre, everywhere. We have to identify the new talents, and we have to provide platform for them.
I'm done? You're done? Okay. Let me just see.
Hey, you have anything left?
Yeah, no, I'll just ask a general question about, Begusai, etc. Just so we have a narrative we can talk about. Si la sécurité, le truc des voitures, etc. Non?
Légèrement nécessaire.
Légèrement nécessaire.
Ouais.
Can you just, it's just for the narrative because we didn't record it when you said it, but you just made a joke when we were in the car talking about those 6 cars. It's just so we have this narrative, just so we can put it when we have the images of the 6 cars. And just how do you feel about the fact that when you were in Begusai there were 6 cars with you? And that you had
So there is only casual comment I can pass on that I have raised the slogan of Azadi, freedom, and I have lost mine. So it was quite easy for me before I went to prison, before the incident of 9 February. I can go here and there, I can have chit chat with my friend, I can have street foods, I can go to the mountains to see beach and to library, another kind of political, social, cultural, academic activity. It was quite easy to take part into that. And after this incident, the threat perception has increased rapidly, and there was many time attack on me. So there is a bodyguard that facility provided by state itself, because they have to, because it is the direction of court, honorable court. So being under the eyes of security forces is actually creating insecurity for me, which is scuttling my space of freedom, my personal space. Sometimes I enjoy my loneliness, but unfortunately I cannot be lonely physically, but mentally many times I feel lonely.
And what does this threat on you tell us about the current situation?
See, because of the
of activists concerning urban Naxals, for example.
this is just political propaganda, and it is similar to the propaganda of anti-nationals or the charges about sedition and all. It is the propaganda created by the supporter of government media houses to divert the basic issues in this country, and it is not new. I have already faced that kind of the hatred which was created, that atmosphere created by the morph video and the fake news and the fake forward of WhatsApp and all. I have been facing this kind of fear and such kind of atmosphere of hatred and all. So this is not new for me. And threat is the mob lynching is taking place in India. Anywhere mob is coming and beating the people and they are killing the people. Then they have there are incidents in India. They have killed rationalists, academicians, journalists. They have already killed. So it is not new, and I think I am mentally prepared for that. And I am telling you, sometimes speaking itself became a revolution. You have to do it. And in life you cannot choose your birth, but you can choose your death. So I am not getting fear about my death and all.
Jean was wanted you to briefly comment on what is the Hindutva on tape, so that they have a footage in which you articulate your thought against Hindutva. And maybe I will add something again, how to make clear that the answer against the Hindutva is not soft Hindutva.
In a very simple language, I can tell you, I am not going into the deep discourse, political discourse about and academic discourse about Hindutva and the theorization of Hindutva politics and all. In simple term, I can tell you, Hindutva is a political ideology which is being used by RSS, Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, and the other outfits of RSS, and they are using Hindu identity to fulfill their economic and political goals, to achieve their economic and political goals. And there is no relationship between Hindutva and Hindu religion. They are just Hindu religion. They are trying to organized Hindu religion or the follower of Hindus as a political identity. And you can say, if I am not wrong, that how the ISIS is using the term political Islam, the RSS is using Hindutva to politicize the Hindu identity. So the Hindutva is complete Hindutva is complete a political ideology which has no connection with Hindu religion, and there is a difference between Hinduism and Hindutva. Hinduism is all about the details of Hindu religion, but Hindutva is a political ideology which is using the symbols of Hindu religion to fulfill their political goal. Am I clear?
Yeah, we'll cut the moment where you compare ISIS and RSS.
No, you should use it, man.
A last comment for the French audience.
Dear friends, I want to say one thing to you. The people united shall always be victorious, and we will be victorious against this all kind of operations which is taking place in our country, our beautiful world. We'll fight together and we'll win together.